Canada's officially in a recession by 0.1% annualized. Same week that headline dropped, home sales across the GTA went up about 6%. So either this country's collapsing or somebody's trying to sell you something. It's a word. And before you buy it, before you freeze a purchase, panic a sale, or read your renewal letter for the 9th time at 1 in the morning, stick around because buried in this announcement is the most honest thing a banker has said all year. It came from the Bank of Canada itself. Almost nobody noticed. I'm going to bring it to light. They're calling it a technical recession, and technically is the tell. Nobody puts technically in front of good news. Technically, it's still under warranty. Technically, the Leafs made the playoffs. Technically means the paperwork and reality disagree, and they need you to side with the paperwork. So let's read it. How does 0.0 become minus 0.1? Watch his hands. The quarter didn't actually come in at 0. It came in at minus 0.0 something. A number so small, their own report rounds it to nothing. Then they annualized nothing, meaning they took that sliver that they had rounded away, that part that was too small to print in their report, they multiplied it by 4. 0 times 4 is a recession now, I double checked. So no, you can't see this recession on the chart. You can't feel it at 14 O's. The thing you feel at 14 O's is inflation. Different word. This entire recession lives behind the second decimal place. That's not measurement. That's marketing a rounding error. Hey, look, if your renewal's coming up, I know this word lands heavy, but your groceries were stupid last month too, back when we technically weren't in one. So here's the deal. By the end of this video, you'll know what this announcement actually changes for you, which is not 0, but it's something. And one question it can answer. No GDP report can. And that Bank of Canada tape, wait till you hear it. Hold on a sec. If your mortgage renewal is the thing keeping you up at night, that conversation belongs with a licensed mortgage broker. That's their lane. That's not mine. My lane is this word and how it's going to potentially affect you. I'm not going to gaslight you. 3 of the last 4 quarters in this country, they came in negative. The ugly one was actually the end of last year, down about 1%. And then they went back and they revised it lower. The economy is genuinely stalling. Trades feel it, small businesses feel it. I don't know a single person who isn't going through it right now. That part's real, but stalling and crashing are different words. Stalling is sitting in traffic on Western Road. A crash is the airbag going off. Very different insurance conversations. The gap between those two words is where people make terrible housing decisions. Here's what that actually means for the nurse in Woodbridge trying to decide if she should buy this year. The quarter the headlines are panicking about was flat. And get this, per person, the economy actually grew a little because there are less people coming in. Less people coming in, same pie, slightly bigger slice. We shrank our way into growth. I'll let you sit with that one. Here's the part nobody puts in a headline. That GDP report covers January through March. Came out at the end of May. It's now June. You're being asked to panic about the weather from last winter. That report is a rear view mirror. It tells you where the car has been, not where it's going. The early read on April? Already bouncing back. Some economists are saying this recession was probably over before they finished announcing it. That means the press conference outlived the recession. You're trying to drive forward, looking out the back. So what did the Bank of Canada do with all this? June 10th, they held the rate at 2.25. 5th meeting in a row. That's a decisive shrug. But the shrug isn't the story. The story is what Tiff Macklem said next. The next move could be a cut if tariffs keep beating up the economy, or a hike if war-driven energy prices turn into real inflation. Gas already pushed the headline number near 3%. You've noticed, you drive, and core sitting around 2. That's the most honest thing a banker has said all year. Governor of the Bank of Canada, a building full of PhDs, every data feed in the country, he stood up and he said, on the record, could go either way. So when Dave from Scarborough lights up your group chat and he's sure rate cuts are coming, he's been sure for 2 years. Understand what you're hearing. Dave has exactly one advantage over the governor of the Bank of Canada. No accountability. When Dave's right, you hear about it till Christmas. When Dave's wrong, he deletes his message. Look, a year ago, everybody was certain that the only direction was down. Agents said it, the economists said it, talking heads like me said it. I wasn't around. The machine only has one tool. They have to cut rates. That was gospel. The bank just told you the gospel's got 2 endings. Anyone still selling you certainty isn't selling you information. They're selling you a feeling. Here's my favorite part. While the headlines were writing the economy's obituary, what did the actual GTA market do? May numbers, roughly 6,500 sales, up about 6% since last May. New listings, down almost 19%. Average price, just under 1.07 million, still around 4.5 points below last year. Quick recap, sales up, supply down, prices still below last year. That's not a crash, that's not a boom. 1 month doesn't make a trend, so calm down. But you know what is? It's people with leases ending and babies coming, buying shelter at the steepest discount to the peak they've seen in years. Because their lease ends in August either way. Baby doesn't care about quarter over quarter. The market didn't read the recession memo because the people in it aren't trading a word. They're solving a life. Job a house does. The roof, school district, the commute that doesn't slowly kill you on the 400. None of that appears anywhere in the GDP tables. Statistics Canada doesn't come over and measure your kid's bedroom. Which brings us to the one question this announcement can't answer for you. Not is Canada in a recession. Not will rates get cut. Those are mirror questions. They're about where things were and about predictions even the Bank of Canada refuses to make. The only question that matters is this. Can your life survive the decision? Can you carry this house at today's rate with today's job if nothing, absolutely nothing, improves for the next 7 years? Because here's the asymmetry. Recessions in this country have historically lasted quarters. Your mortgage lasts decades. If the answer is yes, the headline was never your problem. If the answer is no, a rate cut wasn't going to save you anyway. I'll be straight with you, even though it cost me money. If you're calling me because you think this recession guarantees cuts and a price pop, don't. I'll lose a sale. That's fine. I'm not letting you bet your family's shelter on a coin flip the Bank of Canada refuses to call. All right, here's your fun fact of the day. In the States, there's an official committee whose entire job it is to date recessions. The big one, the '08 financial crisis, they announced it was over in September of 2010. The recession had ended in June of 2009, 15 months earlier. Entire babies were born in that gap. The experts confirmed the storm after the grass was already dry. That's not incompetence, by the way. That's just what rearview mirrors do. They're accurate about the past. If you want someone honest, not pretending they have a crystal ball, links in the description. Give me a 15-minute call. Stop driving by the mirror. Look out your windshield.